or morning, afternoon, or wherever you are. Lord Stan here, and I'm coming to you today live from the tropical garden, one of the many gardens in my vast country estate, situated just south of Hay. Well, that's for me to know and a vast load of Japanese tourists to find out. So, well, I hope you've had a lovely interval, and settling in and relieved yourself at your modern conveniences, as I have. And hopefully we can ease ourselves in to episode 10C for Charlie of the BNSF Birdwood Sub. So, hopefully this time we can get to the top and see exactly what happens when we get there. Probably Sweet Foxtrot Alpha, I'd say. Yeah, lovely. So anyway, I'm going to go and maybe shoot some tigers with a camera, of course, and look at the vast flora and fauna that's situated in the huge Dard Gauge estate. So toodle pip, and hope you enjoy episode 10C of the BNSF Birdwood Sub. Toodle pip.
Well, trendsetters, we're getting there. This is like bloody Groundhog Day, I tell you. Round and round and round. Bloody hell. Well, I'll just show you what my little blocks here and the reason why I've done them how I have. It's the 28th of January 2013. It's in our start of our wet season. The humidity is unbelievable. We've just had a cyclone up north and flooding and all that sort of. I had 3 trees blowing over in the yard, lucky they're only small ones, but anyway. Now these are my blocks. You can see how I've put 2 bits of timber there, and this is my 90mm between the two. So remember when we said if you get your bottom level right, then every other level all you've got to do is keep these blocks the same height and you don't need to measure anything. Now, why didn't I go with the block like that? Well, there's a very good reason, trendsetters. I didn't apply the 6 P's principle. Well, I sort of did, but I measured the roadbed on the layout elsewhere and just added on another 10 to add a bit of these on each side. That would have been fine on straight track, but of course the Helix isn't straight, is it? No. So I'm a bit concerned about overhang from locos. Now, if I put that there, like that, that would have made it a lot easier, and I would have had probably about 5mm clearance from the locos, maybe a bit less than 5mm, which is pretty close. So if you get something that's a little bit out of whack, you don't want it spearing into one of these. So anyway, so I decided to go with thinner timber, then it takes up smaller, and it's sort of been a bit of a blessing in disguise, because now instead of screwing from the top, I'm screwing into the side, and I can get, I can lock it in this way as well. So 6 of one, half dozen the other. So the only trouble is when you're doing this way, you don't get a lot of meat to screw into the top here. That's only 11mm, 12mm, less than half an inch. So that goes in there like that. You don't really have enough to screw down through here, so I'm screwing in from the side, which is a bit of a problem with joins. So what I'm doing, I'm still putting one over a join like that. Now there's still, just put that in the centre there. So centre that there, there's really not enough to screw down through here. You've only got, you know, this much to screw into. So I'm screwing in this way, one on each side, and of course one down the bottom. And also I'm using, we call them biscuit joiners out here, you probably call them cookie joiners, I don't know. But the real name is a plate joiner. They're little like oval bits of timber that go in here and here, and they'll give it strength, because even if you use the blocks, where's my pseudo block here? Even if you put a block there, you've got nothing in the middle to support it, which is fine, because I mean look at the thickness of that thing. But just to help it line up, because I've stuffed up, yes I know I stuffed up, I would like a little bit more support in here. So I'll show you the plate joiner. Now, these are our little biscuits. Where are we? There we go. There's our little biscuits there. And the biscuit joiner or plate joiner cuts a little groove here and a little groove here, or wherever you want it. and these slide in halfway each way, and when you put your PVA glue around these, they swell up and become a nice tight fit in there. It's sort of like horizontal doweling, I suppose. Probably not quite as strong as doweling, but they're pretty good. And of course you glue this whole surface here and glue on each side of the biscuit, and so let's do that. Now I was going to do this is the last one I've got to do, trendsetters. And I meant to do it on the floor with a few others, and I just got sort of carried away in Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day! That's what it feels like, round and frickin' round. Anyway, we're nearly there, as the actress said to the bishop. Now, this is a plate joiner, or a biscuit joiner as we call them down here. And basically what it is, you've got a little miniature saw blade in there, circular saw blade. If I can see it, if I can pop it out there. Pop up, little weird. There it is. And all this is adjustable. You can buy different size joiners. I'm using the bigger ones because they're more bite, but you can buy tiny little ones. And you can adjust on this what size cut you want to do. Also, you have to align vertically where the biscuit's going to go. So if you're joining two pieces together, you have to make sure that the depth from the top to where you're putting the biscuit is the same. And you can also do them on an angle and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I haven't bought a power tool in about 2 weeks, so I thought, well, what the hell? Always wanted one of these. And they're very handy if you want to don't put screws on anything, and it needs to be reasonably strong. So yeah, they're pretty groovy. So let's give it a go. Now I've got my 2 lines marked here, there and there. They're 40mm in from the edge. That gives me enough from the side here so it doesn't split the timber, and also so the 2 biscuits don't touch on the inside. Then on the biscuit joint here, it's pretty easy. You just got a, where are we? There we go. A centre line there that you line up, and that's about it. Now, depending on how you're doing it, there's other lines here. I haven't even read the instructions properly yet, but as long as you make sure the biscuit's in the middle of the depth, or sometimes you might not want it in the middle, depending on what you're doing. You might want it more to one side, but as long as the 2 bits that you're joining obviously line up, otherwise your timber's not going to be level. So that's about it. Alright, so I'll whack these in and I'll show you what it looks like. Lining up there. Right, always make sure that your this face here, where it sits on your job, make sure that's level and firm, and also put something underneath the timber, because if you don't, the base of the machine, because it sits like that, this might hit the ground here and put out your level. So always make sure there's nothing underneath this. So elevate your timber. I got this off the ground about 1 inch, so just to make sure nothing touches this, because that'll put your level out, because it's actually sitting on this bit here. Right, there's our 2 slots cut in here. Now I've marked the other piece that's going to join up with this. Just use the same marks and put 2 in there. Here's our biscuit. And then it obviously gets glued. And that goes in there like that. And then the other one goes in there. And the other slot's in there, and it stops it from moving up and down. Not that this is ever going to move, but what the hell? I wanted a biscuit joiner trendsetter, so I bloody well bought one and invented a job for it. But I'll use it. It might be good for scenery to put things in, and rather than screwing and all that sort of thing. Who knows? Not that I'm adverse to screwing at all, but time and a place. So that one goes in there. You just got to be careful when you do put them in that you get them centred, so they don't sort of stick out on an angle like that at one end, and they are a bit of a tight fit. There we go. So I'll glue them in, and I've only got one more piece. This is straight piece goes off here, off the helix, onto the top level. So I've got 4 more bits of track to lay. So we'll do that and come back and show the end. Another thing, when you have to exit the helix, which you will have to do, it's a good idea to cut out your exit block or your bit of timber in one piece, so you don't have to have a join underneath. You can see that one there. That's a single rail coming off the outside, a single track. So that way you don't have to put a block of timber underneath to join the two, because you haven't got any room to do it anyway. So that's that one there. And here's another one here. Now of course the one on the other side that we did the biscuit joints on, they're both tracks are coming off, so it can just go straight off. But these ones here, of course, there's nothing to put. Normally you would put a piece of timber under here to join these two, but of course we don't have any room for that underneath the Helix. So if you cut all this out, it takes a little bit of mucking around. But if you, as you're cutting your curve, just once again comes back to planning, and make sure this is, I've measured this where it has to come off at this angle, and this is all one piece. So there you go. A little bit of muck around, but a lot easier. Well, trendsetters, we've finally reached the top. My God. How long did that take? I think that's been about 3 weeks of solid work, many weekends. Jesus. Talk about Groundhog Day. Anyway, that's it. A little bit of mucking around to do. And there's another track on the left-hand side of that one. There's another track which is a loop for the top level, but that'll go in later. But yeah, there you go. It's been a bit of a journey, I must say. Hasn't all been fun. Now let's have a squiz at it. Work train there, going up to the top, the very first train on it, trendsetter. I'll show you that in a minute. Now there it is. And that there, that's our roadbed going off to the top level. Hooray. There's had to be some pretty tricky bracing and bench work here, because this whole frame was not designed for a Helix, so we've had to do a few different things. Little trendy little brackets there, but it'll all work out alright. We hope. I've just dodgily wired this up with my new booster, just to see if that's all working. Of course, all got to be wired up and all that sort of thing, but the challenge was to get the Helix done. Well, there you go, trendsetters, first train to the top. So it's been a bit of a journey, trendsetters, but I'm glad it's finished, that's for sure. Up on our chopper again, trendsetters. Aerial view there. Now that's the exit there, or should I say that's the entrance for the down track, I should say. And I'll show you there that bit of one piece of timber, plywood cut out there, so you don't have any joins underneath it with your exit and entrance tracks. Well folks, I think that'll do it for Helixes for now. We'll revisit this when we start the bench work, which I'll be doing in a couple of weeks for the top level. So I hope you enjoyed it a bit more than I've enjoyed making it. It has been a struggle at times, I've got to say, especially by myself. But anyway, it's been fun. I'm glad it's done. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next update. Toodaloo. Bye.